Hey, welcome to Old English Outfitters YouTube channel. I'm Alan. So in late 2019, Springfield Armory produced and released this pistol, the Hellcat. This was a direct competitor to Sig Sauer's extremely successful P365 with a couple of twists. The Hellcat has a 11-round magazine and a 13-round magazine as standard. They ship right with the gun. The Hellcat also, in small configuration like this, came optics ready. Very innovative, couple nice features there. We got one of the first ones that landed here for review. We shot it. You can find our review out there. And we were impressed with it. We thought it was a very nice little pistol. That was late fall of 2019. So here we are in the spring of 2021, and we have this. This is an improved Hellcat. And you say, what in the world did they do here? Well, if you look at it, obviously there's some very visible improvements and a couple of changes that are going to be standard too. Okay, this has a little bit improved trigger over the original generation gun. I couldn't find, I didn't think there was a huge amount of difference, but they say there's a little improvement there. But the other thing this one has is a ambidextrous manual safety lever right there, both sides. So if you like having a manual safety on a pistol this type, you can get it now. It's going to come on the standard Hellcats too, so that's something that we're going to see. Okay, but this they call the RDP configuration, Rapid Defense Pistol. So what we have here is an optics ready Hellcat fundamentally. Okay, still has the front night sight and the U-notch rear that they all come with. But it has two other things besides the thumb safety that set it apart. One is it has a little bit longer barrel that's threaded on the end and has this compensator. The other one is this little optic. Springfield has started producing the Hex, H-E-X, Hex series of optics. They're going to sell them through their store, their website, and they're also going to mount them on some of their guns. They have two. This one's the Wasp, and it's got a little picture of a wasp up on top of the sight here. The other one's the Dragonfly. Same look, a little bit larger for some of the larger pistols. The Wasp is set up to use on guns like this, small carry pistols, following that trend of putting optics on small guns. The Wasp is a sight that is continuously on. To change the battery, you have to dismount the sight from the slide. It has windage and elevation adjustments, and it adjusts automatically for the light conditions that you're in. The housing of it's aluminum, and it's got a little bit of an overhang right there. Kind of points forward. You can kind of see a little bit there. So the lens is set back in just a little bit. I kind of like that. That makes it kind of sturdy. It also gives you a nice platform to rack the gun with that is sturdy, stays put, and gives you a little bigger footprint to grab. That's kind of nice. From the factory, the ones I've seen so far, I've seen several. From the factory, this comes exactly where it should be, lined up right on top of the front sight. We've all picked up guns that come from the factory with a red dot sight installed. You present it, you look, and the red dot sight's anywhere but lined up with the irons. This one was lined up right with the irons. I hope they continue to do that. That's a nice, classy touch. Speaking of the irons, this sight has a little, because of how it sets, because it sets low, and we got a little notch right there, it co-witnesses perfectly with the existing iron sights. So if the dot's not working, you still have your iron sights to use, and of course you have a night sight up here on the front. So it's a really nice little setup. The other thing that sets this apart is this little compensator. Now, a lot of compensators that you put on a pistol, you have to have an O-ring or set screws or some combination of things to anchor them in place. Not this one. This one self-aligns and latches right in where it's supposed to be. On the bottom of it is a little lever. You push the lever and it lets you turn the compensator. You just take it off. When you take it off, you can put this thread protector, comes with the whole setup. So if you don't want the compensator on, you can put the thread protector on it. On that same subject, by the way, if you take the optic off because you don't want it or something's going on, it also comes with the protector plate that goes back onto where the optic footprint was. So you can take this thing back to simple configuration if you want to. When you turn this back on, it latches automatically in place. Now the instructions explain you'll end up going just a little further and come back. Follow the instructions exactly and you won't have any trouble with it. The compensator does help. It does keep the muzzle from rising. It's vented on the sides and the top kind of like a brake. And it does help. It does keep the muzzle from rising, makes the gun pretty shootable, which the Hellcat's not bad anyway. Any of these small guns are going to have more recoil than something bigger, obviously. You know this. But the compensator definitely helps. Sometimes on a defensive pistol, compensator can be a little bit of an issue. If you're in a fighting position and you draw the pistol back, the compensator is venting towards your face or other parts of your body, so you got to be a little careful about that. But that's what's nice about this. You could shoot it with the compensator on it, and if you decided you wanted to carry it and didn't want that on, just take it off, put the thread protector back on. Very, very simple. Other than that, it's a Hellcat, like the others. Takes part the same way, same configuration. Springfield, wisely, with the Hellcats these days, have started shipping this little magazine loader. It's a simple sleeve, like lots of things that are out there, with the addition of the little piece on the back, so you can, if you're swapping from hollow points to range ammo, you can easily rack those rounds out of there. This is nice. The mags, these mags are small. That's an awfully small footprint to put 13 rounds in. So they will be a little tough to load. Now, they will improve, too. You load them, leave them set, they'll get better, get easier to work with, but they're still going to be tight. So you got a loader that comes with the gun now. Smart idea. Good thinking on their part. We shot this. We liked it. It's pretty intuitive. If you haven't shot a small pistol like this with a red dot on it, there's a little learning curve if you're new to it. The dot, like I said, lines up pretty well perfectly with the iron sights. But when you present the pistol, if you just keep the dot kind of in the center of the screen, you'll hit where the dot is. It'll appear in that position to be a little bit above your iron sight. If you just bring it down so you've got a correct iron sight picture, it'll be right down on top of the sight where it should be. Pretty cool. The red dot is very helpful if you have vision issues. You know, you have people who wear bifocals and trifocals and other kinds of vision problems. This is kind of nice because it gives you a single point to look at rather than a front sight and a rear sight. It contributes to fast shooting because you're hunting, you're looking the dot, you're following the dot, you're not having to frame other things. And the technology has taken these small sights and made them really small and really compact. That's not a large footprint. Holsters and holster designers are understanding this. They're building holsters that accommodate these things. The literature that comes with this sight says it will run 65,000 hours on the battery that's in it. It takes the little round batteries, 2032s I think they call them. That's a long time. So you can leave it on, and that's nice because you have no worries about if you're presenting it, is the electronics going to function correctly and turn it on if it's sitting there off. You don't have to push a button to turn it on. It's always on. So from a defensive perspective, that's a good thing. And if something goes wrong with it or it's damaged or anything like that, you've still got good co-witness with your iron sight, so you're still in business. So this is a pretty cool little fighting pistol for defensive purposes. That's what it's aimed at. The current Hellcat series runs in the 5.5 range, approximately. Okay, depends a little bit on how they're configured because you get them optics ready, get them without. Sometimes they'll have a fiber optic instead of a front sight. They're building 10-round capacity magazines for the guns now. So if you live in a place where you're limited to 10 rounds, you can do that too. Safety or non-safety is going to also become a thing. Contact us for price and availability on these. Currently, I believe this configuration is about $879. Currently, that could change as time goes on, so please keep that in mind, all right? Neat gun. One of the new ones that's out here for this year. We like it, and we think it's going to be a strong seller and a very popular, just like its parent, the original Hellcat was. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm Alan for Old English Outfitters. Thanks for watching.